Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about the Crusades, one of the most fascinating and controversial chapters in history. We often see Crusaders as noble knights fighting for faith and justice. But is that really the case? In this video, we will explore who the Crusaders really were, their true motives, and their behavior. Join us as we dive into this captivating and complex topic. Main plot. Let's start by understanding that the Crusades were a series of religious military campaigns that began in the late 11th century and continued until the end of the 13th century. The primary goal of the Crusaders was to liberate the Holy Land from Muslim rule. Historically, Crusaders have been depicted as noble knights driven by religious zeal. However, their motives were much more complex and varied. Many were driven not only by religion, but also by the desire for wealth, land, and titles. For example, the First Crusade, which began in 1096, attracted a diverse group of people from different social strata. It included not only knights, but also peasants, the poor, and members of the nobility who saw it as an opportunity to improve their status. It is important to note that among the Crusaders were those who were genuinely motivated by religious convictions. But for many, it was also a chance to escape debts or avoid legal prosecution. As they journeyed to the Holy Land, Crusaders faced various hardships and challenges. One of them was the need to sustain their troops and supplies. In search of food and resources, they often resorted to looting and violence, which cast a shadow on their noble image. One of the most famous episodes is the capture of Jerusalem in 1099. The Crusaders took the city by storm, and many of its inhabitants, regardless of their faith, were killed. This bloody episode shows that the real actions of the Crusaders did not always match their idealized image. Equally interesting is the relationship between the Crusaders and the local population. Contrary to popular belief, the Crusaders were not always welcomed with open arms. Local inhabitants, both Christians and Muslims, often perceived them as invaders. Despite their religious mission, Crusaders frequently engaged in conflicts with other Christian states and rulers. This added even more complexity and contradictions to their activities. One example of such conflicts is the confrontation between the Crusaders and the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantines, who initially called for Western Christian aid, soon realized that the Crusaders could become a threat to their own power. Crusaders often imposed their own order on the conquered territories, ignoring local traditions and laws. This caused dissatisfaction and resistance from the local population. A vivid example of this is the capture of Antioch in 1098. The Crusaders, after taking the city, established their own rules, leading to numerous conflicts with the local residents. It is also important to mention the role of religious orders, such as the Templars and the Hospitallers. These orders played a key role in the Crusades, but their activities were not always impeccable. The Templars, for instance, were renowned for their discipline and military prowess, but also for their brutality. Their methods often drew criticism, even among the Crusaders themselves. The Hospitallers, despite their charitable and medical functions, also participated in military actions and were responsible for numerous atrocities. As a result of the Crusades, numerous Christian states were established in the East. However, their existence was short-lived due to constant attacks from Muslim rulers and internal conflicts. The Crusaders also left a significant cultural and economic legacy. Their expeditions contributed to the development of trade and cultural exchange between the East and the West. However, the most interesting aspect is the human factor. The Crusaders were ordinary people with their own weaknesses, ambitions, and fears. Their actions were often driven not only by noble ideals, but also by pragmatic considerations. We see that the reality of the Crusades was much more complex and diverse than is commonly believed. The Crusaders were not only heroes, but also conquerors, adventurers, and even criminals. This is what makes the history of the Crusades so interesting and significant. Understanding the true motives and actions of the Crusaders helps us better comprehend history and avoid simplified and stereotypical representations. Thank you for watching our video until the end. We hope you found it interesting to learn more about the real motives and actions of the Crusaders. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. This helps us create more engaging and informative content for you. See you next time on our channel. Stay with us to discover more fascinating stories and facts from the past.